Okay, so let's talk about. I have only one article today, and it's, well, the stupid is getting stupider. And this comes from the Wall Street Journal, that bastion of liberalism. U.S. orders intelligence agencies to step up spying on Greenland. Efforts underscore seriousness of Trump's intent to acquire the island from Denmark. So, for those people who are thinking that this is still just a bunch of bullshit that he's trying to distract, things are getting pretty real. And apparently, upon learning about this article, Tulsi Gabbard complained about, and I shit you not, that the Wall Street Journal is being irresponsible for printing classified information. The woman who participated in a Signal chat discussing battle plans, and somehow she thinks that she has the respect enough to call out the Wall Street Journal for pointing out really, really scary shit. So, all right, let's get to the article. The U.S. is stepping up its intelligence gathering efforts regarding Greenland, drawing America's spying apparatus into President Trump's campaign to take over the island, according to two people familiar with the effort. Several high-ranking officials under Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard issued a collection emphasis message to intelligence agency heads last week. They were directed to learn more about Greenland's independence movement and attitudes on American resources extraction on the island. Well, I'm sure they'll be disappointed to find out that, yes, they want independence, but that means independence from everybody. It's not like they want to be independent from Denmark because they want to become U.S. citizens. I mean, maybe there are some who think it would be awesome without, thinking much about it, like the people who voted for Trump. Like they right now get free health care. They totally would not be getting that if they were to become part of the US. They might not be thrilled with that. So there might be other things that we do that they would lose by becoming a part of the US. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to get these spies are going to get the information that that Trump wants. Or maybe this is just, oh, we have to invade because, look, these people don't actually want to be a part of the U.S., so we have to force them. Because Trump did say one way or the other. The classified message asked agencies whose tools include surveillance satellites and communication intercepts and spies on the ground to identify people in Greenland and Denmark who support U.S. objectives for the island. The directive is one of the first concrete steps Trump's administration has taken toward fulfilling the president's often stated desire to acquire Greenland. A collection emphasis message helps set intelligence agency priorities, directing resources and attention to high-interest targets. The Greenland Order, which went to agencies including the Central Intelligence Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, and the National Security Agency, underscores the administration's apparent commitment to seeking control of the self-governing island. It forms part of the Kingdom of Denmark, a North Atlantic Treaty Organization member and a decades-long ally, which That doesn't seem to matter to Trump. To him, the only allies he cares about, the only people he admires are strongmen, and even them he tries to shake down because he believes his press that he is himself a strongman and he's super intelligent and whatnot. But it would be interesting to see. Now, we're a part of NATO. Denmark is a part of NATO. What would happen if the U.S. were to invade Greenland? I'm pretty sure the rest of NATO would side with Denmark because, well, for one thing, it's literally part of the NATO charter that an attack on one is an attack on all. And there is just, like in this case of Ukraine, there's this general idea that one sovereign nation shouldn't be attacking another one to steal its land. So there's that as well. James Hewitt, a National Security Council spokesman, said the White House doesn't comment on intelligence matters, but added the president has been very clear that the U.S. is concerned about the security of Greenland and the Arctic. Dude, they're a part of NATO, you're a part of NATO. You literally do not have to take control of the island to help its security. That is literally what NATO is for. In a statement, Gabbard said the Wall Street Journal should be ashamed of aiding deep state actors who seek to undermine the president by politicizing and leaking classified information. They are breaking the law and undermining our nation's security and democracy. Unlike you, who had no problems being in an unsecure signal chat and you were outside of the country as well. So you were making hacking your phone even easier. And I'm not going to don't even get me started on Steve Witkoff, who was literally in Moscow meeting with Putin. I mean, come on. And then you whine about other people leaking classified information. The Danish embassy in Washington declined to comment, and the Prime Minister of Greenland didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. The Arctic island of some 56,000 people hasn't historically been a key target for U.S. intelligence collection, according to a former American intelligence official and a former senior intelligence officer focused on Europe. Intelligence collection resources are inherently limited, the former intelligence official said, meaning that they have typically been pointing toward perceived threats, not allied countries. That just tells you what Trump thinks of Denmark. He does not see these allies as allies. He sees everybody as adversaries. He just happens to like some better than others because they speak his language. But, he doesn't really like anybody. Since his first term, Trump has emphasized his determination to purchase, annex, or conquer Greenland's 836,000 square miles of territory to the consternation of Denmark and many Greenlanders. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it, Trump said in a joint address to Congress in March. One way or the other, we're going to get it. Now, this is the same man who is now putting 100% tariffs on foreign-made movies under the guise of national security. Seriously, what is it about national security that requires 100% tariffs on foreign-made movies? Now, is there a problem with production moving overseas? Absolutely. Nobody is saying that isn't a problem in specifically Hollywood. But 100% tariffs on foreign-made movies? Just like other products, Trump does not know of what he speaks because it's much more complicated. We are not talking about a movie is made here, a movie is made there. That is not how production works. There's a production company here, there's filming there. It's just complicated. All right. Vice President J.D. Vance, then National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, and Energy Secretary Chris Wright traveled to Greenland in late March, sparking outrage from Danish leaders and Greenlandic residents. Ooh, but they didn't mention that Usha was there too. The visit puts completely unacceptable pressure on Greenland, Greenlandic politicians, and the Greenlandic population, as well as on Denmark. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen told Danish television in advance of the delegation. President Trump is serious, she said. He wants Greenland. Asked by NBC News in an interview that aired Sunday whether he would rule out seizing Greenland by force, Trump demurred. I don't rule it out, he said. I don't say I'm going to do it, but I don't rule it out anything. No, not there. We need Greenland very badly. Greenland is a very small amount of people, which we'll take care of and we'll cherish them and all of that. But we need that for international security. Really? You're going to cherish Greenland? I'm sure the people whose benefits you're cutting, or the people you're firing for absolutely no fucking reason, I'm sure they feel just cherished. Seriously? And again, we're a part of NATO. Denmark is a part of NATO. You do not have to seize Greenland in order to take care of it. You literally have a treaty. You have a military treaty. You do not need to go to these measures. But we all know why he actually wants Greenland. Because now that the ice caps are melting, now that the icebergs are melting and the glaciers, there are rare earth minerals on Greenland. So that's the real reason Trump wants the island, because he's a greedy fuck. The island is home to substantial deposits of rare earth minerals necessary for the production of everything from electric vehicles to wind turbines, as well as untapped oil and natural gas reserves. Mining those underground assets has proven logistically difficult. But, Trump doesn't care about that part, because that would require actually, thinking about stuff. And he thinks very shallow. He's like, they have that, me want. And everybody else has to figure out how to get him what he wants. Because he's a narcissistic Nepo baby who thinks that everything should be served to him on a silver platter. Anyway, that is the end of that article. So, yeah, things are just ratcheting up with Trump's desire to take Greenland, which, to all my Danish friends, I am so very sorry that we have a buffoon for president. Because, again, what the fuck? We're a part of NATO. They're a part of NATO. If you really feel that Greenland, that we need to have military station there, we already have a military base. J.D. Vance and the rest of the delegation could only go there simply because literally nobody wanted to meet with him outside of that base. And I'm not entirely sure if they were thrilled to have him there. So, and just as an aside, what the fuck? He was a Marine. And he kept his hat on while indoors on a Marine base at the mess hall. Dude, I learned from NCIS that you do not do that. You take your cover off when you're inside. You put your cover on when you're outside. I mean, seriously. Trump only learns things from TV. We know that because suddenly he wants Alcatraz to become a prison again after fucking watching Escape from Alcatraz. So, if people who aren't Marines know that rule, how the fuck do you, who was a Marine, not know this? I do not care what your job was in the Marines. I'm pretty sure that they taught you that. So anyway, I believe that is all I have for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.